Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena action. Let's continue on with this Hunter run. It began in the last video as a 3-0 run. I made it up to 6-0 before I lost my first game. However, the 3 games after that, I won. So now we're at 9-1, trying to get up to 12 wins with Hunter, which I believe is my strongest arena class. 3 more wins is what it'll take, but even if I don't make it there, 9 wins is pretty solid. It continues the trend, actually, I've been carrying for a long time, which is apart from one Shaman run that went to 6, all of my runs since I began this new series have been either 3 or less, or 9 or more, which is kind of wacky. Okay, I'm going to mulligan this stuff because it's not good early on. Let's shoot for my 1-drops and other 2-drops, like Knife Juggler, or even my other Bloodsail Raider. I don't find that, but I do find the Eagle Horn Bow, which raises some interesting possibilities. Instead of playing the Bloodsail Raider on turn 2, I might coin into the bow on turn 2, and then try to play this on turn 3 and the Snake Trap after that, and get the Snake Trap to power the bow and so forth. Or I could just play the coin on turn coin on this on turn 1, play a Snake Trap next, and probably get a bunch of snakes. Let's do it. There are risks. He might have an Unleash the Hounds to counter my snakes. He might have an Explosive Trap to counter my snakes. But I'm going to go for it, because if he doesn't have those things, the snakes are going to be fantastic. High risk, high reward, is to be sure. Alright, I could silence... You know what, I'm just going to do this. Yeah, good option now, better than the best option later. Let's just silence this stupid thing, because it's so annoying, and then kill it. So now I'm in the lead. He could play an Explosive Trap here, but, you know, if he plays Explosive Trap, at least that's not going to kill off my snakes. Looks like he does have the Explosive Trap, so I'm a card up, but he's about to go a card up, assuming that's Explosive Trap is what that is. Let's see. It's an Explosive Trap. Alright, so I could either use up all my mana playing the Gargoyle, or I could play this guy. Well, if I play this guy, what else am I doing? Snake Trap? Yes. So I will actually do that. I'm going to play this and Snake Trap. Getting a 2-3, I'd rather have a 2-3 than a 1-4. He's at full health, so the Death Rattle doesn't matter at the moment. And I want to get this trap into play. If he doesn't pop it this turn with a charged creature or a direct attack on my Zombie Chow, I'll play the bow and then the Snake Trap will be ready to pop the thing later. Pop quiz, should you mess with Tusker? The answer is nope. Alright, we got quite the curve here. Gonna play a Spiteful Smith next turn, and then the Ogre the turn after that. I'm gonna kill the pig with that. I'll kill that with that. So I'm playing steady here. I'm not gonna start ramming his face or anything. I feel like I've got card advantage at the moment, especially if these snakes come out, and it's worth it for me to just play nice and fair. Spectral King, Spectral Knight, excuse me, is a bit of a problem. Can't target it with spells, but I've only got 5 damage for its 6 health, which is kind of irritating. Well, we'll play a Spiteful Smith, and I'm just going to hit him in the face. So, what I'm hoping happens is that he runs into my Zombie Chow to get some life, drops to 4 health, and I get 3 snakes, and then doesn't have an Explosive Trap or Unleash the Hounds as a follow-up. Really hoping he doesn't have Unleash the Hounds. That would be a problem. Can't really deal with Unleash the Hounds very well without my Explosive Trap. Or my own Unleash the Hounds. Okay, so he will attack the Smith. Unfortunately, Freezing Trap would have been a lot better there than Snake Trap. Now, Unleash the Hounds is pretty spectacular. Pretty spectacular indeed. Indippity dooders, does he have Unleash the Hounds? Or a second Explosive Trap? That is what I want to know. Yes, yes sir. That is what I want to know. I also wonder, Stefan, do you... he has Unleash the Hounds! No! So that counters my Snake Trap and gives him a bunch of crazy crap. Okay, so he's going to kill my Spiteful Smith. Well, that sucked about as bad as things can suck. The worst part is I can't even kill this Flesh-Eating Ghoul. I mean, I can, but I have to take 11 damage. That deserves a well played. Well, I had to hope he didn't have Unleash the Hounds, and he had it. Of course, I get Unleash the Hounds when it's useless. Alright, folks, we're going to take a bit of a gamble here. I will pop the Zombie Chow against that thing. Hit him in the face with Eagle Horn Bow. play Misdirection and Steady Shot. And what I'm hoping happens here is that he attacks with the Flesh-Eating Ghoul, not considering the possibility of Misdirection, and pounds himself in the face for 13 damage. Most people, I think, would probably think it was a freezing trap here. Oh my god. No! Are you goddamn kidding me? Jesus, he had a Stone Tusk Boar? Are you goddamn kidding me? Stone Tusk Boar to ferret out the Misdirection. And so I do take 13 damage to the face from Flesh-Eating Ghoul. Man, this game is freaking idiotic. God, it didn't. The board didn't even have the decency to hit the ghoul and make it easier for my hounds to kill that thing. Oh, he has that too? Motherfucking hell. Fucking insanity. Well, ball sacks is what I gotta say to that. Now, of course, I can clear most of the stuff with Unleash the Hounds. But the problem is, I can't kill everything. I'd have to use my bow to hit the raid leader going down to 6 health. I'm dead in 3 turns. There's just no way for me to kill him in time. I don't have any life gain. I'm just gonna concede. Seemed pointless to spend 2 cards to clear his board and then not be able to play anything more than a Stone Skin Gargoyle and be at 6 health, dead in 3 turns without any life gain in the deck. Do I have any life gain that I forgot about? No, I don't have any life gain here. Alright, so we're at 9-2. That was a freaking idiotic game. Probably against a hunter, I should not have gone for that early snake trap. Probably is what I'm thinking. Probably would have been smarter, would have been just to stick with the plan of the raider, and then the bow, and the whatever other thing I had. Stupidity. Flesh-Eating Ghoul to go with that Unleash the Hounds. That was just the tip of the shit iceberg there. And I'm first against another rogue, which is annoying. Again, I have this Bloodsail Raider versus Knife Juggler thing. It worked out pretty well to play the Bloodsail Raider last time, so that is what I'm planning to play on turn 2. Hopefully I get another turn 1 play here. Not a chance. Not a goddamn chance. Please just pass on turn 1, though. That would just make my day. Nope, that's the coin. Do we have a Defias Bandit Ringleader situation? We have Fairy Dragon. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's good. So, pretty innocent use of the coin there. Got our Bloodsail Raider army here. Observe, please, that the South Sea Captain is buffing my Bloodsail Raiders synergy! And that could be relevant in some very odd cases. That was a very cheeky play hitting me in the face. But my opponent is going to get away with it this time. Actually, is she? No, she's not. Fuck her. I'm going to play the Captain here. And I'm going to use my Bloodsail Raider to take my pick, actually, of who I want to kill. +1/+1. I guess we'll kill the Fairy Dragon. So my opponent pays heavily. This thing could have been dead already, but instead it's alive, and I'm 3 health less. She can kill it in a variety of ways, like Fan of Knives, but, you know, still, it would have been better to have that dead than alive. And my pirate dies, too. Okay, so we're actually both even here, even Steven. Let's play some more stuff. Try to get ahead a little bit. I have 2 cheap beasts. If I get my buzzard, I might just be able to play these out. Is there a hope that my Knife Juggler will live? There's no backstab? Actually, yeah, that's what happens. My Knife Juggler lives. Kill command is rather timely. What I'm going to do is play a Web Spinner. I should have put the Web Spinner in the middle. Why did I go out of my way not to put it in the middle? That was really dumb. We'll kill command to kill that thing. 5 damage is nothing to sneeze at, and I'm just hoping she doesn't have any betrayals. That would be very silly. I should have put the Web Spinner in the middle. Oh, God. But she's got 6 cards to my 5, soon to be 6, and the Web Spinner replaces itself. I also have card draw on the deck in the form of Buzzard and Cult Master. Alright, she gets a card. So she's getting cards up, but I am getting a lot of minions here. Is it worth it to silence this to get rid of the spell damage? It probably is not. Let's just keep it simple, keep it safe. Play the Mind Control tech. Play Snake Trap. And swing for 6 damage. So what's going to happen now is after she attacks me, the snakes will pop. I don't think she'd expect a Snake Trap. And the snakes pop out and they will fling 3 knives off the Knife Juggler, which should wreak a decent amount of carnage. It's like a free Arcane Missile, essentially, which is quite strong. 3/1/1s and an Arcane Missile for 2 mana. Good times. And I'm trying to burn her out at this point, honestly. Every hit I can get with my Mind Control tech or whoever. is pretty good. She's also demonstrated an appalling lack of removal by playing a Yeti than an Azure Drake when removal was clearly called for. Not that that's her fault or anything, but it bodes well for my chances. She does fly in at the Knife Juggler. At least one of the Knife Flings I hope will hit the Azure Drake. Hopefully not all three, because that would be a waste. I just need one for the Drake to be dead. Okay, it looks like they all three might miss, however. And they do. Which is its own kind of good thing, though, because yes, she has a minion out, but at least, you know, she took 3 damage to the face, which is helping me achieve my goal of burning her out. Does she have a second Fan of Knives to clear off most of my team? She's got healing. Earthen Ring Farseer, not bad. And an Eviscerate for 5 damage. It's overkill, of course. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Kill command. Alright, so do I go for everything on the face, or do I take a timeout to kill the Azure Drake? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13 damage. Yeah, we'll take a little side here. We'll sacrifice 1 damage to finish off the Drake and get a card. Tundra Rhino. Oh, yes, please. It's like a slightly overpriced Stormwind Knight, but that's fine by me. I mean, getting a charge creature out of that was just gravy. That takes a turn off the clock. And I've got, even if she clears everything, 5, 7 damage. So she's dead in 2 turns. She has to kill everything and have life gain, which is a position many opponents of Papa Boris have been in, and few have survived. So let's see if this person is the exception. Sexy Envelope. No, she is going to die. That will not do, my friend. That will not do. Unless you play like double preparation Vanish or something here. It is all over. Okay. Good times. All my beasts have charged. There's like a bajillion and 1 ways that I could kill this opponent now. I even had a kill command. Alright. That'll do, pig. That'll do. So I'm above 10. Or sorry, at 10. Above 9. Whee! My runs have been very wacky. My runs in order from worst to best are 1, 3, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, and then 9, 10, 12. There's just this huge gap from 3 to 9, marked only by 1, 6. My last Hunter run got 2 wins. I am very happy with how I have avenged myself. Very happy indeed. And this run will actually pull my average above 6, which is good, because having an average below 6 is a little bit embarrassing for me after I kept it up for so long in my earlier stats sheet. This is an abysmal hand. I am again first against a rogue. Gee, a different rogue. First against 3 rogues in this one arena. Hilarious. And a pretty crappy opening hand to boot. Well, I got nothing to do unless she gives me something to Arcane Shot.
The pleasure is mine.
What is up with you rogues and saying hello first? Do you not understand how the world works? Zombie Child does not die to Arcane Shot. Oh boy, this is bad. Web Spinner. Alright, that's actually pretty good. Because now, at least I can Arcane Shot, Web Spinner, maybe kill the Zombie Chow and get a card. Except, of course, she can Dagger to kill this if she wants. No, she's got better things to do than to Dagger a Web Spinner, so she trades the Zombie Chow in. I get a Buzzard, which is unhelpful to say the least. Well, this kind of sucks. So she's got the full initiative right here. Complete initiative. She still has her coin. I'm playing with a Drake next turn, but she can do whatever she wants for this turn and the next turn. And all I've got in response to that is a Drake. Oh no! I can't kill this thing. I don't have my Owl. She takes a bit of a gamble here, and it works. Because I got nothing for this guy. And she even has the coin still. So she can actually coin to get it an extra buff. Ah, my god. Where is a Hunter's Mark and an Iron Beak Owl when you need them? Not in my hand, that's for goddamn sure. She has the Assassinate, so this is a cool 4/4 that's going to keep on growing. And I'm taking tons of damage, and I got absolutely no answers to the situation. I've got just a handful of nice big cards. So is there any point in Hunter's Marking this thing? None at all. It'll just get buffed. So, well, okay, I could Hunter's Mark it. I think I actually have to Hunter's Mark this. This is just the most embarrassing thing ever. It's going to get buffed, but I need to make sure that if it hits my Spiteful Smith, it dies. If I let it get buffed more, it'll hit my Spiteful Smith, kill it, and live. But I'm completely desperate here. I've just got all three of my endgame cards, but I got none of my removal, which sucks. Except for Arcane Shots, which I had to use against Zombie Chow. Oh, terrible. A terrible way to lose in the arena, but you know what? I made it pretty far with this deck. I could have had this bad luck earlier and had the run end earlier, and I didn't. And 10 is still pretty solid. So, I can't complain too much. It's annoying to have some games just die to Ferocious Luck. One game of Flesh-Eating Ghoul that I couldn't answer despite the fact that my deck has a billion answers. And then another game losing to a Questing Adventure I couldn't answer despite the fact that my deck has a billion answers and I'm at 15 health. Misdirection is pointless. It does nothing for me in the slightest. We'll just end the misery right here. If I could have actually gotten to play these cards without overwhelming board presence, I would have been fine. But as it is, let's just end that and start the new run. I don't want to... there's going to be people complaining, oh, Boris, you conceded too soon. But you know what? Even if there was like a 1% chance of me winning that game, I'd rather take the 100% chance of not wasting folks' time with a game that was almost hopeless. And moving on to the next arena. So, a Golden Starfall I will keep, but a Head Crack, which is the worst card, one of the worst cards in Hearthstone, I will not. Okay, we're going to play Rogue if Rogue is an option. Because I need to play a Rogue. Rogue, however, is not an option. Well, what do we got here? I've played each of these classes once. I think. Did I play Paladin twice? I don't think I did. Or did I forget? Oh my god, did I forget to update my stats sheet? Well, anyway, I think I can pick any one of these that I want. So let's take a look at my daily. Druid, Rogue, Mage, Shaman. Okay, I guess we'll try the Druid quest. Pretty sure I've only played Druid just the once, and it was pretty bad. My last Druid run was 3 wins, my last Shaman run was 6. So I'd rather beef up the Druid than the Shaman. Hey, we got a legendary here. So, Druids don't have weapons. This is a 5/4 for 5. And those Dormo is a troll card. We'll take Malagos. He's a pretty solid card. I mean, it's hard to get him out and actually do anything else, but it's a very fun card if you can play it, and Druids make pretty good use of him. So, do you take the buff card or do you take the awesome 5-drop? I will take the awesome 5-drop. It's just a very good card. Really enjoy that Spectral Knight. We'll take a 2-drop here to make up for it. Wolf Rider for some removal / reach potential. Dark Iron Dwarf is solid. Keeper of the Grove, I think, is even better than the Sunwalker. It's a close call, but I'd rather keep my curve down as a Druid. I think it's very, very risky to go too big. Now, normally, I'm afraid of big creatures, but Ancient of War is just so good. A 5/10 with Taunt for 7 mana that I'm going to take it. I could see a case being made, though, for any of these. Force of Nature is reach plus removal. But I'm just a big fan of that card. I'll pay 7 mana for it quite happily. Okay, Shieldwind Yeti is the best card here, but in context of my curve being a little bit high, I'm thinking about the Farseer for some life gain and just to keep my curve low. I'm going to do it. Trust your instincts. I feel like the Yeti there would have been a bit greedy. Wailing Soul, Silencer of the Minions. Well, I don't want this. All my minions right now have pretty good abilities. So I'll just take the Master instead, keep my curve down. The Young Priestess, I think, is garbage. Okay, this is also a pretty bad pack. The Elven Archer I don't think I want, so I'll take a Silverhand Knight here. I've been taking cheap things rather aggressively, so I think I can afford to take that extra 5-drop. Swipe, of course, is great. Wrath is a must. Starfire over Mad Bomber and the Rifleman. Cult Master here. I really got to get my curve down, but I'm just not given the opportunity. Take the Warrior. I think he's better than the Monkey. What is going on? Do I take the shot or the health? Let's take the health, I suppose. But man, I need some 2-drops. This is just the worst thing when you have a stack of 3s and 4s. Golly Jesus. So I've got enough big things, I think. I don't think I need the Sea Giant. We'll take the Big Game Hunter to kill off the opponent's big stuff. Okay, so Spellbreaker is probably better than the Owl, but I really just need to keep my curve down. However, does the Owl actually help your curve be low? Not really. You're not going to play it on turn 2. Take the Spellbreaker because it is the better minion. At this point, I'll take pretty much anything other than anything that's 2 or less, and here I'm forced to do so. Do I want this Weblord? Battlecry? Do I have any Battlecries? Let's see. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes? Okay, definitely lots of Battlecries. Let's just take the Wolf. Another Wrath or an Infiltrator? You know, I think the Wrath is better because it'll kill something, which is what the Infiltrator would probably end up doing anyway, so I'll take a 3rd Wrath over that minion. Cannot keep my curve down to save my life. The warrior for some early removal. Swipe number 2 I think is more worth it than Power of the Wild, as much as I love Power of the Wild. Another 5-drop. Well, we'll take the Tiger there. Mark of the Wild or Druid of the Claw. The buff would be nice, but so would the Taunt. Just a solid empty board taunt. We'll take the Druid, but I could see a case being made. I saw 3 Sea Giants in this run, and what's remarkable is I might end up not taking any of them, because that's remarkable because this is one of my favorite epics. But I took, you know, Ancient of War for 1, and what did I take for the other? Oh yes, the Big Game Hunter for the other. So did I take one here or this Ancient of Lore? Ancient of Lore might be more expensive than Sea Giant, and it's obviously got a much smaller body, but it gives me cards, and I don't have any card draw in this deck. Except for Starfire and Wrath, I suppose. Alright, I'll trust my instincts. So what do I think of this deck? Well, too many expensive things. I got an Ancient of War, an Ancient of Lore, Malygos. It's a lot of stuff above at 7 or above. I'm normally not a big fan of playing with that high of a curve. However, those are phenomenal expensive cards. We're not talking kind of like borderline things like War Golem or Stormwind Champion. We're talking like absolutely exquisite epics and a legendary. So there, it's a deck. It's an expensive deck, but the quality really cannot be impeached. It is unimpeachable, like Bill Clinton. Oh my gosh, the history jokes. Anyway, we have a decent chance if we don't fall too far behind. Jack Mayhem the Mage. Mage is a fitting class for someone named Jack Mayhem. Well, I'm just praying for my 2-drops. That's all I'm praying for, and they're not here. I'd keep the Big Game Hunter in this deck if it were some other 3-drop, but obviously you don't really want to play a 4-3, 4-2 for 3 early on where it's not going to hit anything. Alright, well, my wish is this game's command, we actually have a very fast start. The person will think I drafted an aggro deck or something, because I'm going to coin into a Panda then play the Raptor. Turn 3 is a whiff. But on turn 4, I can put the Stormwind Knight, maybe help bring down some bad minions. So if I can do something for turn 3 and turn 5, and we can wait until the Starfire for turn 6, it might be alright. Alright, so the Pyromancer will just die, that's fine. And we do, in fact, get something to do on turn 3. Hate wasting life gain against a mage, but at least I'm a druid, so I have built-in life gain somewhat. And I've also got the Ancient of Lore, which might be used for life gain, if needed. She must have a secret. I doubt she'd play that if she didn't. But no, she doesn't. Wow, the reason I'm surprised about that is quite simply that my 2-drop kills her 3-drop. So she must not have had anything better to do. Well, we're equal on cards here. I've not gotten ahead on cards. We've traded and then we traded again. Akauz, does she have a buff for it? No, she doesn't. So she just gets a pair of 1/2s for 2 mana. This mage is really not playing anything impressive, and I'm not saying that to demean her. It's not like it's her fault necessarily, but I didn't have a particularly great opener, and she just was not able to capitalize it with what she played. After losing those games as the Hunter, where the people just had friggin' everything they needed at exactly the right times, this is quite the luxurious change of pace. Back here in the 0-0 bracket, that I suppose is to be expected. So I wouldn't mind a Druid of the Claw or something else. Ancient of War is great, but against a mage, of course, it'll die to Polymorph. And I got nothing to bait the Polymorph out with. So I'd like to have something else, like Druid of the Claw or Spectral Knight. Spectral Knight especially would be phenomenal. Because Druid of the Claw is arguably one of the best 5-drops in the game, even counting all the legendaries. But in games against a mage, it dies to Fireball and Polymorph, which are both commons. So you never feel that great throwing it down. Stampeding Kodo, I don't understand why the opponent thought for half an hour about that. That's like just the most obvious play conceivable because it kills a creature. What the hell? Alright. I'm wasting this Battlecry again. This Kodo killed 3 of my minions. That was actually a fucking amazing Kodo. Oh my lord. This is bad. Okay, so that Kodo turned everything around because that killed my Stormwind Knight. It's going to kill my Farseer, and it's going to kill my other Farseer, too. But if the Farseer lives, maybe I'll play something wacky like Cult Master Bluegill Warrior to finish the Kodo off. No, that is not to be. This is just the worst possible thing. I can't kill any of his shit, or her shit. God damn it. Starfire comes up short. Oh my god, this is that. Wow, that turned around in a hurry. That turned around in a fucking hurry. Alright, well, we'll just leave this alone, I guess. That Spectral Knight really better turn it around for me. Sea Giant. Okay, wow. So I talk about how this person's not doing anything fancy, and then all of a sudden she plays a Kodo, which is like the absolute most perfect creature she could have played, and then a Sea Giant. You have got to be kidding me. So why am I doing this, you ask? Well, because I'm pretty certain she has a polymorph, and I want this 4/2 body here so I can trade into the Sea Giant, horribly unprofitably, of course, and just not have this get polymorphed and everything's still alive. If I'd played this, I couldn't have killed off the Kodo, and I think killing it was important. Wow, Frost Nova, interesting choice. So this person is suddenly going for my throat here, and she's got 13 damage on the table. So I could swipe twice to kill the Sea Giant, or I could play the Ancient of War. Play the Ancient of War, and she has a polymorph or a silence. I will probably lose the game. If I swipe twice, though, what a sad use of swipe. Well, it's happening. Gonna play it safe. 2 for 1 against the Sea Giant. Hopefully that's it for her big things. Shades me down to 15. I just gotta hope my Ancient of Lore and my Shapeshift prevent me from being burned out. Wow, this person got off to a slow start, but I guess I just kind of didn't have the perfect hand either. Oh my god, if that kills my Cult Master, I'm going to be so mad. Okay, it missed my Cult Master, which is good. She elects to silence it, which is fine, and buff that up, which makes no difference because my 4 power guys will kill it. Of course, now she hits me pretty hard. Alright, we gotta take a turn removing things. As tempting as it is to play the Ancient of War now that she has only 1 card, which might not even be a polymorph, I really need to kill as much of her stuff as I can, I think. So, Starfire and Wrath would kill off some stuff, and then I can kill the rest of this stuff with my creatures. Leave an empty board situation. Let's do it. 13 health is enough that with only 2 cards, she should not be able to burn me out. The Wolf makes no difference. We'll Wrath for 3 damage. And then toss my minions at her minions. So now I've got a little bit of card advantage. Perilous life situation, but again, I am a Druid. I'll be shapeshifting to at least cancel her hero ability. And it looks like she does have a polymorph. I mean, she's got 2 cards. It's just really unlikely she wouldn't have a polymorph. Now, it might also be a Flame Strike. Truth be told. Do I play this to have it die to Flame Strike? I do. Trying to bait out her Flame Strike here. She got it. It was the second card, chat. So this card that she's been holding on to for an age has still not been used. She plays a Shattered Sun Cleric. I really think it's polymorph. I really, really do. Alright, if I attack, this thing's just going to die to shape her hero ability, so I might as well kill the Shattered Sun Cleric. The question is, do I want to just cycle this Wrath to get a card? And the answer is I think I do. I'm just wasting it. I'm just cycling it for a card. That's all I'm doing. Just to see if I can play something to bait a polymorph out. Wolf Rider. Wolf Rider? I hardly know her. Alright, let's think. I'm gonna play this wolf. I could kill the Shattered Sun Cleric with my Shapeshift and get 10 damage on the face. That seems a bit greedy. Let's be cautious. So I'm just hoping I out-top deck her. If I get an Ancient of Lore or Malagos, well, okay, if I get Malagos, I'll probably play the Ancient of War to bait out the polymorph and then drop the Malagos down. She has nothing again. Keep the Grove, I could do that for 2 damage. I'm just so certain at this point that she has that polymorph with 2 cards, neither of which she played for minions. And I'm just going to use what I've got and make her desperate to use the polymorph on something else. I just don't see how I could have gained by playing this unless I'm wrong and she doesn't actually have a polymorph. She just got a Frost Elemental to freeze my guy. Stop the attack, which is a pretty good deal for her. Hitting me for 5, I'm a bit scared because actually now I'm in a little bit of trouble. What happens now is if I let her hit me, let's see, I Shapeshift to go up to 14 health. She hits me down to 9. Fireball and Frostbolt will kill me. So I can just throw the Wolf and a Wrath at this Frost Elemental to kill it off that way. Alright, I think the time has come to play my Ancient of War. Now, I have played this as a 10-5 before. I think it's okay to do it on an empty board. I wouldn't do it here, though, because either Flame Strike or Fireball would then kill it. So let's say if this card that she's been holding was in fact a polymorph. She's ahead of me on cards. She has 3 cards to my 2. But I am dealing 3 damage a turn to her at the moment, and I'm drawing the first card. I also know there's a Malygos in here, so after she polymorphs my Ancient of War, I can get Malygos out, or I can get an Ancient of Lore. It's 2 out of 10 cards that would be fantastic in this situation. Of course, if she has her own really good legendary, that would just cancel everything out. Alright, that's the card that we've been looking at this whole time. Oh, it might be a Fireball that she's been saving, not a polymorph. In that case, it's a Pyroblast. Oh god. Pyroblast. Well, that sucks because it means that I could have actually played this thing and it would have lived and it would have maybe let me win the game. But she would not have done that unless she had the kill now. So all she needs is a Frostbolt or a Fireball and I lose. She's got a Frostbolt. You've got to be kidding me. Well, that was unfortunate. If I had gotten Ancient of Lore and healed myself, I would have won. If I didn't have to waste my Earthen Ring Farseers early in the game and I could have healed for 3, I would have won. If I had played this and just let it get polymorphed, I would have won because it wasn't actually a polymorph. There was a lot of ways I could have won that game. Some of them were luck, and some of them were choices. I don't think skill... I'm not going to blame my skills in that game because I think it was totally reasonable to read a polymorph as that card. Pyroblast is, after all, an epic. Polymorph is a common. I had nothing that would make her use a polymorph. And I can see now why she was thinking. She was thinking whether it was better to Pyroblast my face or Pyroblast my Ancient of War, and she chose correctly. Crazy Female 7. Nice name. It makes me think that person's not actually female for some reason. Okay, we mulligan my junk hand. Again, the Big Game Hunter comes out to play in the opening hand, and again against mulligan. And again, I do get a 2-drop, although this is not my favorite 2-drop to play early on. It's just a 2-2 for 2 without other minions around. So hopefully I get something different, like a Panda or my Raptor, maybe. Maybe. Mayhap. Okay, if he's playing a thing, please let it be a 3-2. It's a totem. Alright, well that probably means he's got a Flame Tongue. So the question is, do I let my wolf get killed by a Flame Tongue totem? The answer is yes, and I'll tell you why. He plays a Flame Tongue. Wrath of Air Totem kills my wolf, they trade, then I play the Wolf Rider, kill the Flame Tongue. I'm actually not that big a fan of turn 1 Coin Totem, turn 2 Flame Tongue anymore. I used to be a Shaman, but not anymore, because then what happens is you have a Flame Tongue that's exposed on the board, and it dies to a lot of different things. So yes, you're a card up, but it's not actually that difficult for the opponent to deal with your thing. There's a lot of different ways it can be dealt with, and that's one of them. So I called it. Pro calls all day long here in Papa Boris land. He's got a Rockbiter weapon. Does he have a minion, or is he going to just play a totem? Fairy Dragon, that's annoying, because I cannot play my 5-drops. Oh god, I really want to play my 5-drops, and I can't. Oh my god, this is just the worst. Okay. This is the kind of play that you have to make at these times. You need to trade against this Fairy Dragon. End of story. I can't wait and see if maybe he'll play a Ventricle Mercenary or something for me to kill with this. It's got to drop right now, or else I just fall too far behind. Now, if this can trade with the Fairy Dragon, and the Druid of the Claw doesn't get hexed, then maybe, just maybe, I can catch back up. I can also play the Silverhand Knight, which is less vulnerable to hex. But no, we're going to play Druid of the Claw. The reason for this is, if he wants to hex this thing, that's fine. Next turn, I will Starfire the Yeti, get back ahead on cards. And a hex would be 3/5 of his mana, so hopefully his other 2 mana would just be a totem, and then I could pass the turn in safety before playing the Ancient of War. This is pretty much the only answer Shamans, Hex is the only answer Shamans have to Ancient of War. That's really any good. An Earth Shock would at least make it be a 5/4. Or a Spellbreaker or an Owl would make it be a 5/5. Does he have a Hex? His Ancestral Spirit. Wow. Okay. That's not the most impressive thing I've ever seen. So we got a couple of different options here. I could just silence it and then trade my Druid for the Yeti. I could also kill the first iteration, Starfire the second. Well, this is better because it puts a minion on the board. So I'm going to do this, this, Shapeshift, there's no point hitting the totem because it'll just heal itself, so I'll hit him in the face instead. And we got our Ancient of Lore here that I would have loved to have last game, coming up a game late. Well, let's see if he has a Fire Elemental to kill my Spellbreaker with. If he does, I'll have to Starfire his Fire Elemental. This will be a real back and forth, but he will have the upper hand. If, however, he doesn't do that, if he concedes his entire advantage like this... Okay, so he has a Lightning Bolt to kill us, so he doesn't concede the entire advantage, but all he did was play a 4-4. It's a pretty big concession. Now I'll play my Ancient of War, and we'll be in good shape. Well, I got all my epics and legendaries here. Yes, I got the Big Game Hunter, these trees. Wow, this has been a really strong draft. 3 epics and a legendary. I mean, the last couple of runs I had didn't have any epics at all. Well, no, the Hunter run had Snake Trap, but in recent memories, I have had runs with no epics or legendaries to speak of. Nary a one, you might say. Do 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 do. Deepity bee bee boo. All right, so he seems not to have a Hex or a Silencer. I think he would have used them by now. Really not much point in dilly-dallying there. He plays a Demolisher, which is not the most impressive thing under the circumstances, and an Unbend, which is also not the most impressive thing. And then he just sits there. So the question is, do you use the Starfire to kill something and then play this for cards? I think that would be greedy. Or sorry, play one of the two. I think playing this for cards would be greedy. I think the Starfire is much more cautious. So, let's kill off the most dangerous creature. Actually, what is the most dangerous creature here? Let's just kill this off. Starfire this thing. And Shapeshift, hit that. So if the Demolisher hits my tree, it'll be a 5-4, which still takes some killing. And if it lives, I can actually heal it back up. If it doesn't live, I'll play Malygos, extremely confident that he does not have any silence or removal, or he would have definitely used them. Oh wow, he top decks into a Hex, which is great. If I were bad-mannered, I'd say thank you here. So I know that barring further Hexes, he's not gonna... Okay, wow, Earth Elemental's a pretty good card, though. Pretty good card, so I can't deal with this as a Druid very well. Unless Malygos can survive. He's got 7-8 damage. Alright, we're going for it, folks. So the Demolisher this time, thankfully, misses my Malygos. He can deal 8 damage to Malygos. Hopefully, though, Malygos survives. And we can do a swipe to kill off the Earth Elemental. Or even a Wrath would do. Alright, he hits me in the face. Hits me in the face. Totem. And passes the turn. Okay, that's good. Well, let's keep it simple, keep it safe. We'll just swipe to kill off everything he's got. Not bad. Hit him in the face, and poor guy. Well, that game we kind of won on the back of our epics and legendaries because the tree and the Malygos carried us a long way. I will give myself some credit, however, for, you know, correctly reading my opponent's lack of hexes and playing accordingly, given my knowledge of my opponent's likely to be had removal. Take a sip of Good Luck water and look forward to our next game. I don't actually think this deck is very good. Although it does have a lot of the key cards and some epics, it doesn't seem to have much synergy. And it also has a higher than average risk of a slow start. Lancelot the Rogue. So here I finally get to go second against a Rogue. Holy shit, what is this luxury wonder never cease? I have to keep this just out of desperation, and I do get a 2-drop, which might kill something if I'm lucky. And that really would be the luckiest outcome for this Bluegill Warrior. Ugh! That is not going to die to Bluegill Warrior, and it's a fast start. Well, no point in quitting this guy out, I guess. Let's hope my opponent's turn 2 gives me something for the Bluegill Warrior to kill. Huh? 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 Okay, it does. Great. So that's much better. Now the Squire will hit me. Fine. I'll play the Bluegill Warrior. Stop the ooze. And I have my choice of Farseer or the Imp Master next turn, both of which are fine choices. depending on the situation. Or sitch, as the hip kids nowadays will say. Alright, I'll play the Farseer. So my opponent can kill this easily enough. And then I can silence the Golem perchance. Perchance and perhap. Or, okay, so Deadly Poison will kill my Farseer. She's just going to use her minions to keep on hitting my face. Fair enough, I suppose. Now, do I coin into the Druid or do I just calmly play the Spellbreaker? Spellbreaker would die to Deadly Poison. She would take a severe beating, though. I think this is the right move. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. Keep her board presence low, make her take some more damage. Keep the coin on hand, which could be useful for the Ancient of War, for example. Or coining into these guys on a turn. Oh, geez. Well, let's see. See if my decision pays off. Does the opponent have Sap or Assassinate? That is the question. If she uses either one, though, that clears the way for Ancient of War. No, she doesn't have either, but she has the Urgent Commander, which is just about as good. Alright, I cannot clear her board with Swipe here. Can I dare play the Ancient of War? It'll die just a couple of things. Swipe, though, man. Swipe is just bad. I'm going to do the Ancient of War. I bet if she had a Silence, she would have used it last turn, or an Assassinate, or a Sap. So hopefully this guy will just force her to run a bunch of crap into him. Man, of all the times a rogue had to have a blistering fast start, it was this game. Of all the times. Not a 2-drop in sight. Any sap here? Sappity, sappity, sap, sap. Cold Blood. Well, that's a pretty good use of her stuff. So now she can kill off my Ancient of War with minimum casualties. And still get some damage through. Ancient of Lore might be useful to get my cards back, but first things first, we need to kill off all of her stuff. So here's the Swipe. And now, Shapeshifter Wrath. Or neither. I could just play the Tauren Warrior. Well, no, that would die to the Yeti, unfortunately. I guess I should have done this first. Always draw cards first. Wouldn't have helped. Well, what I mainly want now is my other Swipe, because that would kill the Yeti and the Squire. And then I might survive.
Enter the shadows.
Ah, well played. So now I cannot interfere with that Yeti. Alright, do I dare play this guy? I'm probably going to die if I do. However, if I go up to 15, she's got 8, 9, 10 damage. Drop me back down to 5 anyway. So this, what does it save me? 4 health. So this heals me as much as this guy does, almost. But it lets me play more stuff. So yes, I will do this. Heal up there. Shapeshift. There. So she at least has to get through this roadblock. 2 cards is annoying. I wish she had no cards. If she had no cards, I might actually be able to hang on. With 2 cards, there's a decent chance she'll either have removal, more minions, or direct damage, any of which would screw me over pretty bad. She decides to clear the... Oh, she's thinking about attacking me or clearing things off to be safe. Well, I need my other Swipe if I am to survive. So I can kill this ghoul, but this is still 8 damage that I can't stop, and I don't have any taunt. I get a Wrath. That will mostly do, I suppose. Do I play the Cult Master here? No. I think the right move here is to play the Ancient of Lore for 5 health. Rathy McRafferson. The, doesn't matter which. One of these guys. And then use the Earth-Ending Farseer to kill another one of them. I'm pretty much out of life gain. She can get me down to 8 health, but if I'm able to kill this Yeti, she might actually lose. She's doing this just to cycle her card. It's gonna be close. I'm gonna be down to 8 health, gaining a shapeshift each turn, countering her dagger at least. Oh, she kills the lord. Oh, that was a mistake. She should not have done that. She should have gone for the face, because I have a big card advantage here. She should have absolutely just gone for my face. I'm at the position where I have to kill everything she plays. So that was one time where I think doing the trade was not the correct strategic choice. Okay, well, do I shapeshift to kill this? No, I think we've got to preserve every point of health possible. I will use a Storm of Night to kill the Bluegill Warrior. I will shapeshift. And I will play the Imp Master. The Imp Master is synergistically nice with both the Dark Iron Dwarf and the Cult Master. However, I should have put the Imp Master to the left so that the Imp would be in the middle to guard against Betrayal. Now Betrayal will kill an Imp and deal damage to the Storm of Night.
I hear you got a problem.
Okay, that's scary because I don't have any taunts. I need taunts. I need taunts. I need taunts real bad. What do I have in this deck that taunts? I've already used Ancient of War and Druid of the Claw. I don't have that much. I might not have any more taunts. Well, gotta go to your outs. Swipe. Oh, swipe does not quite kill this. Even if it did, it wouldn't matter because it's in stealth mode. Shoot. Well, as much as this sucks, we just have to keep on trucking. I will go down to 3 health. So she needs just 3 damage to kill me. 3 damage will do it, pig. And if she'd hit me with the Yeti instead of killing my Ancient of Lore, she would win this turn. Because 4 damage would push me over. Now it takes a bit of luck to have 3 damage on hand. A bit. Certainly. She heals up, which is not what she needs. That's not what she needs at all. And she plays an Ambusher, which is also not what she needs. Definitely not what she needs. I've already played Ancient of Lore. I think I have another Farseer in here for some healing, but that's about it. Alright, so we got a swipe and a bunch of 5 toughness things. I don't actually want anything to go back into her hand. I want this thing to die. Or can I kill her? Let's see. 4, 8, 9, 10, 12, 16. Oh my gosh, I actually have enough damage to kill her. Wait, this would be catastrophic if my math were wrong. 4, 8, 9, 10, 12, shapeshift, 13. Yes, that's on the nose. She could have won this game if she had attacked me that one turn with the Yeti instead of killing my Ancient of Lore. That was not the time to be cautious, and it cost her the win. That Ravenhold Assassin was the MVP right there for her, too. If not for that, I would have had a much steadier victory. So this game, this run is definitely a little bit dicey. You know, epics and legendaries aside, the removal is alright with 2 swipes and 3 wraths, but there's nothing for 1 mana. I just have mana issues all the time. But that's okay. We're going to keep on trucking in the next video. Please like and or subscribe if you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, ladies and gentlemen.